Greetings. Today I want to continue from where I left off, speaking about the secret of the conscious and the subconscious mind and how important it is to understand how the subconscious mind really works, because it's a tool to help you to live the best version of yourself. Now, you might be listening to me and you might be someone who's familiarized with the term of the conscious and the subconscious mind. But to be honest with you, 99.99999% of people in my country have no concept of the conscious and subconscious mind, or even have any concept about universal laws. Many have no idea, I should say, concerning the law of cause and effect. And that is why secular Christianity is so prominent in my country. And that is why most of the people believe in secular Christianity that is pointing them to look outwardly. Okay, so it's very important for me to speak on this subject, because there can come a time when people from my country will discover this truth, and they will realize that I was not crazy and that I didn't lose my mind when they come to know that this knowledge was always available, but they were not open-minded. Okay. Also, they will come to realize that they were programmed and that they needed to reprogram their subconscious mind. They will come to realize that they were brainwashed and indoctrinated. And they will come to realize that academic education is not the key to success, but a real educated person is one who can achieve anything that he so desires in this world. And he do not have to make himself a puppet, okay, for the system. Also, I want to share how much between 2020 and 2022 with the big pandemic, how many people would have sold themselves so short, and how they were cheated by the governmental system. Yet, these people do not realize that they had a choice, and that it was like the year of Jubilee, where they could have gone free from slavery, and they choose to stay to their slave masters. And many of them, they read the Bible, and this same symbology is in, I think, Exodus chapter 20, I think. Okay, I'm subject for correction. Okay, but it's in the Bible, whereby when the year of Jubilee comes, and the Jubilee trumpet has been blown, and you can go free, because you have certain hang-ups with your slave master. You choose for you and the rest of your family members and your generation after to remain in slavery. But in today's language, it would be people saying that they have mortgages and loans with the bank, so they have to remain loyal to their slave masters. Okay? But my brothers, my sisters, all of that is just another subject for another time. What I want to do, I want to read to you from Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Okay? And I'm going to continue from where I left off in part 1, because this is part 2. And it all have to do with how you are to feel about yourself by having certain knowledge. And to see that the biggest business in my country comes from the Goddard family. Yet, many people work with the Goddard family. And there are people who believe in secular Christianity that is pointing them to look outwardly. And that particular establishment was the first establishment in the private sector to institute compulsory vaccination to work with their establishment. So it's very important for you to know these things, okay? Because many people in my country do not know, okay, these things. So I'm sharing it and I'm putting it on record by saying it here first, okay? So let me just start from where I left off, okay? It says here, the conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. So my brother and sister, it's like a man. A man will sow a seed into the woman, and the woman will receive that seed and will bring forth a birth. So too with the mind, when you understand how the mind works, when you realize that your thought is what is actually creating your reality, it will help you to be more responsible so that you would give the right birth to the right things in this world. It says here, the subconscious does not originate ideas but accept as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true, and in a way known only to itself objectifies the accepted ideas. So ideas do not originate from your subconscious mind. It comes from your conscious mind. So the concept that you hold about yourself or about the world or about others, in other words, your belief system, that is what is really shaping your reality, because that is what you would impress upon your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind is just a receiver, and whatever the subconscious mind receives and it's impressed upon the subconscious mind, that is what the subconscious mind will give back to you. So what you sow is what you will reap. So you have to realize that you are responsible for the thoughts that you entertain. And that is why when you realize that you are the cause of everything in your life, you will realize one of the major laws that governs all of humanity is the law of cause and effect. Because you see, many people look at the effect because they're looking at the objective world, but they fail to realize that there's a subjective world whereby when you impress something upon your subconscious mind is impartial and going to give it back to you. Okay? So you are responsible for everything that is taking place in your life. So he said, therefore, through this power to imagine and feel, and his, no, sorry, let me just read back. He said, therefore, through his power to imagine and feel, and his freedom to choose the idea he will entertain, man has control over creation. So you have control over creation. Therefore, you have to realize that you are the creator, and the expression of the things on the outside, they are the creation. As I always say, you are the perceiver, and the things that you're beholding, they are the perception. And that is why you must have knowledge of how the conscious and the subconscious mind works. That is why I'm making sure to equip you with this knowledge, so that you will have a good understanding of it, so that you can master it in your life. Because getting the knowledge is one thing, but being very mindful of it throughout the day, every day of your life, and seeing it working in your everyday life, this is where many people will fall away, and many people will lose the battle, because not much people are quite self-disciplined, and not much people practice self-mastery. Okay, so my brother, my sisters, that is why even as simple as you taking good care of your body, exercising and doing all of these things are to help to build self-discipline in you, and to help you to focus and concentrate. And all of that will come into the working of you being in full control of your mind. And that is why You have to have the right attitude towards yourself. Have the right attitude towards life, because attitude is everything. Okay? Because as I would have just read it right here, that you have a choice and you are in control. You are the one who determine what is created. So you have your world to create. Therefore, I'm saying to you, you want to create a world that reflects the best version of yourself. It says here, control of the subconscious is accomplished through control of your ideas and feelings. So it's very important for you to know that feeling is what will set things in motion, because emotion is energy in motion. So do not allow yourself to be too caught up and to engage in certain things that will make your feeling get so used up that you set things in motion. And that is why there's so much things that they use in this world to distract you, because you're going to get into certain feeling. And what is happening right now, where the World Cup soccer is concerned, that's a very good example that people gonna use up all of their emotions because they're backing a certain team and so on, and not knowing that they're wasting their creative power, their creative energy, while they're looking at people who are actually fulfilling their purpose and making millions of dollars on this planet and playing according to the rule of their game, while most people are not playing according to the rule of the game of life, because this life is a game and you have to know how to play it. And if you don't, you will get played. Okay, that's why many people, their mental has been governed, and that's why most people look for help from government, okay, instead of looking to themselves and believing in self-government. You are responsible for yourself. He said the mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depth of the subconscious, the female aspect or womb of creation. You see, when you understand this, you will understand my book, which is called The Truth About Marriage. Because many people get married because they're fearful of the doctrine of fornication and adultery, because they do not understand that everything is chemistry. Sex is chemistry. Even now as I speak to you, I'm inhaling and I'm exhaling. Okay? And it is me receiving and giving back. Okay? It's all business. And that's why every relationship is actually a business, and the traditional marriage is basically a business that they're using against the ignorance of the people who are religious and superstitious and fail to realize that the very scripture that they are using in Ephesians chapter 5, it tells you that marriage is a great mystery. This is the great mystery here that is speaking about. It's the mystery of the conscious and the subconscious mind of how you can bring forth. That is why what people invent, we normally say that's their brainchild. So, just as a woman can have an orgasm, you can have a spiritual orgasm. And when you have a burning desire, it's a spiritual sensation. And when you believe it and conceive it, the conception is like an impregnation. You're impregnated with your ideas, and the time will come that you will give birth to your ideas. We're living in a sex world. If you understand that sex is sacred energy exchange, we're always exchanging energy, because energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be transmuted. Okay, it's all alchemy. Taken from the invisible substance through desires, through thoughts, and manifesting in this three-dimensional wall of matter. Okay? It says here, the subconscious transcends reason and is independent of induction. Okay? So, your subconscious mind, as I always say, is impartial. You can do nothing to your subconscious mind unless it first came through the conscious. It all have to do first with what you conceive, what you entertain. Okay? He said it contemplates a feeling as a fact existing within itself, and on its assumption proceeds to give expression to it. So the whole thing is that your subconscious mind is blind. And that is why in symbology they told you Isaac was blind and Jacob deceived Isaac to make Isaac believe that he was Esau, the hairy man, which really represent the outer man and the inner man, and how to steal the blessing, how to get the blessing. But we have to learn to impress the mother principle, which the Bible refers to as the mother of Esau and Jacob. So, my brothers and my sisters, all of these stories in the Bible, it all have to do with the conscious and the subconscious mind, which is basically to operate the creative power that is within you. So it says here that through assumption, you have the expression, okay? Then it says the creative process begins with an idea, and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. So when it comes to the Trinity, it is all about thoughts, feeling, and action, because that is what will bring a manifestation, and that is how you will get the expression of the creator or the creative power that is within you. That's how you do the work of God. So, my brothers and my sisters, when you understand the principle, the creative principle, right, how it all begins with an idea, then you will understand Genesis when it says, in the beginning, God. It is teaching you, in the beginning is the invisible. It is teaching you that everything starts from the invisible and then became visible through feeling and action. So it takes action also. So it says the creative process begins with an idea and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in a volition to act. Ideas are impressed on the subconscious through the medium of feeling. This is exactly what I was saying a while ago. So feeling is definitely the secret. So even if you have all the ideas you could think about and you just believe it, but you're not having that feeling, you're not going to impress your subconscious mind. And I'm saying this because many religious people believe in blind faith. They have blind faith. And that is why they do not manifest their ideal life. And when it doesn't happen, they say, well, it wasn't the will of God. It is always the Father's will and good pleasure for you to inherit the kingdom. Which kingdom? The kingdom of creativity. To operate in your full potential, to operate in your ability. That's why I was given gifts to help to uplift all of humanity. Okay? He said, no idea can be impressed on the subconscious until it is felt. It must be felt. But once felt, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it must be expressed. Now, when you really understand that, and you understand the Bible as a book of mind science, and that the Bible addresses the human mind must be interpreted psychologically, then you will understand Deuteronomy 32:39, where it says, I am God, and there's no other. Say, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. So, if you entertain thoughts of wounding, and it blossoms and brings forth your personality might be one that is committing criminality, and they call you a criminal. Okay? But here it says it is still God that is doing all of this, because God is the only player in this game. So in Deuteronomy 32:39, he said, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. So when you understand the power of choice, and you understand how the mind works, and you understand how powerful thoughts are, you realize that everything that has been expressed is based on the level of our thinking. And that is why all the other justice system that is set up in the world, they are all fake. The real system of justice is based on universal laws, starting with the law of mentalism. And when people do not have any concept about how the mind works, they do a lot of ignorant things in this world that many will regret. And that is why there are so many prisons that have been built, because people are ignorant of how the conscious and subconscious mind works. So, feel very fortunate to be getting this kind of wisdom, or I should say knowledge, because if you do not apply it, it wouldn't be wisdom to you. Okay? Let me just read down here. Okay? It says, feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious mind. So, as I said before, if you do not have the feeling, if you do not have this, and this feeling is really annoying, and you can really get into that feeling by using repetition. Okay? And basically, that's how they really program us in school, to repeat and regurgitate something over and over and over and over and over until it's been impressed upon our subconscious mind. So it's the same thing you do for the things that you want to attain in this life. Okay? You say it until you really feel it and really believe it. You can definitely feel it. There are things I will feel before they ever happen. And I know that they will happen, because I've already had that feeling. I'm dwelling in that feeling every day. I'm in that feeling. That's why I wrote the book, Your Mood is Your Fortune. Therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. How many men and women are in prison today because they had no concept of the conscious and subconscious mind? I live in a small country where there's so much homicide that is taking place because of the ignorance of the people. And when you try to teach, many of them, they say, okay, he lost his mind, he's crazy. Do you realize there are people in my country who tell you, if you're not speaking about Jesus, I don't want to hear you. Plain and straight, they tell you that up front before you ever say anything. And they always seem to know. And they wrapped up a lot in intellectualism, in terms of, because they were educated in the school system to believe that education is the key, and they fail to realize that the school system is an indoctrination center. Many are still chopped and tied to that kind of belief, whereby they think knowing is you reading something in a book or something being taught to you. But true knowing is experiential, is when you experience something for yourself, that when you really and truly know. Okay? So let me just come down here now and try to come to a close. Therefore, the man who does not control his feelings, or his feeling, may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. That's why even the Bible says that whatsoever things are good and whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are true, if there be any virtue, you must think on these things. Because the Bible is all about the mind. It's not about people who existed thousands of years ago. It's not secular history. It's all about the mind. He said, by control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression of your feeling. And that was happening when people trying to be what they are not, especially religious people. The thing is you trying to restrain and suppress. No, you have to understand balance. You have to understand the right brain and the left brain and understand why it tells you when the disciples were fishing and the Christ says, have you caught anything? And the sign said, throw the net on the right side. You have to realize this is not history. This is not history. Okay? It's all about teaching you a certain frequency. And you was on a low vibrational frequency and you couldn't catch anything. Your life wasn't going anywhere. So my brother and my sisters, it's very important for people to understand these things. So let me just, by control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression of your feeling, but rather the disciplining of self to imagine and entertain only such feeling as contribute to your happiness. In other words, it's always better to think upon what you want than to focus upon what you do not want. How many times you hear people complain? How many times you hear people fret? People blame government, blame everything for their poverty, for their destitution, except themselves. Many people do not want to face themselves. People blame the devil and fail to realize that the devil is their negative self. But my brothers and sisters, I want to say to you, if you equip yourself with knowledge, you will realize that the more you learn would be the more you earn. So my brothers and my sisters, I don't want to be too long. Okay, so I'm going to stay here and I'm definitely going to continue. Okay, I'm definitely going to continue this part till I finish this chapter. Okay, and on the conscious and the subconscious mind. And remember, the book is Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. So my brother and my sisters, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me and what I'm saying, if it makes sense to you and it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm definitely encouraging you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram, I like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at Black Mad Guru, and you can also follow me on rumble.com at Black Mad Guru. Also, if you like to do a one-on-one with me, you can feel free to do that. Reach out to me by way of email, and I share with you the terms and conditions. And once those terms and conditions fit, you can definitely have a great time together. But I want to encourage you to always be willing to invest in yourself. Also, I have uploaded on my Patreon a $20 course. It's called The Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. And it's very, very important for you to have the right concept of yourself. So I definitely encourage you to invest in yourself and get those courses. Get on board. You will never regret that you did. Also, before I leave, just one more thing I want to say. If you feel strongly led to support this work, I just want to remind you that we have a PayPal and that the link is always down below. So with that being said, my brother and my sister, I just want to say peace. Love you all. Out.